Okay, so here we are in the position where we have just installed the software again, because since I made the last video, I've found a couple easier ways to customize your appearance of the board. What I'm going to do is we go back into preferences here and go to skin. I like to actually keep it in the not change this stuff here, and go to here, and the only thing I want to change, because basically the only thing I didn't like, which I should have actually thought about before, was these squares here. The piece is actually not too bad, but I don't like the piece colors. And so what they have here is there's a directory path where they're actually loading a bitmap to use as the square. So I'm just going to get rid of those, and then I'm going to create my own squares as I did in the last ones, just my own square colors. And this one I might make the blue a little bit lighter than I did in the previous video. Let me see. Okay, maybe that. And another nice feature is having a shadow size on the pieces. So when there's a shadow on, they sort of look like they're jumping out of the board, which looks a little bit cool. This might be okay. Let's see if this looks better or worse. I might change the pieces to my favorite alpha pieces for now, and then okay, well maybe that looks a little bit better already. But this next thing I'll change is just for taste. I actually don't like having a huge board, because it's sort of when you're analyzing a position on the board, it seems to you have more to look at, sort of basically. I like to have a smaller board to analyze with, and so what I do is go to borders and change these variables here, and it makes the board size smaller. That's the only way I figured out to make it smaller, so that's what I'm going to do. I think the size I like is about 65 or something on each margin, and you'll see that when I do that, it changes the size of the board. Okay, I like that more. It just seems easier for me to analyze. If we see the pieces moving now, so it seems easier to know exactly what's happening on the board, right? Also, I wouldn't mind having this font over here to the right. Maybe we'll see if we can mess around with that. Is that in game display? I can't really remember. Display settings is probably useful. Yeah, so here's the font size here. You can change the font also. I haven't actually looked at this yet. Task chess figurine. Let's see how that looks. Well, that's obviously not being read properly, so we'll go back and change that back. We want to see AHS, and I actually like to take the font instead of 12, maybe like 14 or 15 maybe. Oh, actually that's too big. I was looking at it on my smaller laptop before versus on this one. It is a little too big, maybe 13. Maybe the original 12 is even fine. I don't know. 11 or 10. Let's see how that looks. Okay, yeah, I don't mind that. Yeah, okay. Let's see how it looks when. Yeah, actually, okay, fine. I like that. So okay, we've customized the design, but this video wasn't actually about customizing design, so it's in there for ages for doing nothing. Not design, you know. I might take that back to where it was. I'll take it to 14 or whatever. Okay. Now, what I was actually going to be showing you in this video, and I'll start right now loading that. Yeah, that's annoying, that sound. Is loading databases. Okay. So the main tool that my students will be using this for is loading their homework, which will be in a PGN format, and other people that I annotate their games will be in PGN format. Plus, I'll teach people how to use this as a form of simplified database management type software also. So first, let's just assume that you're one of my students. You've just checked your email, you've got your homework, it's in PGN format, and you've saved it from your email onto your desktop. I'll go find it now. Let's look for a file called 2movepins. Okay, so database, open, and on the desktop we find a PGN file called 2movepins. Click it once and click open. Okay, now we'll see this other window open up here, and it is the database games window. And so I'll maximize that, and that's a completely separate window from the main window. And if we look here, at the top, we can see we get a preview screen of the diagram here, so it's really easy to find. In fact, if you're doing your homework, you don't need to, because you don't need to go into the main screen again, really, or maybe you do, but it's very easy to navigate and say, oh, are these hard or what? You just push. I'm pushing the down arrow now, just looking at the various puzzles. How hard are they? Let's see. I don't know. And if you are going to load them in, you just double click on one, and it takes it, imports it sort of into the main screen. And so this one, of course, it's a 2-move pin, or 2-move tactic anyway. Basically, this. Oh, sorry, that was a mistake. I'm going to attack that and pin it with my rook. You can see here, and he's going to bring his rook back to protect it. Okay, so we've used the pin, and then because this bishop here is pinned, we can go knight c6 check now, which forks here and here. Okay, so that's pretty easy. By the way, this over here, you notice by default that when I accidentally put knight takes d7 in, that makes that the main variation here. I'll talk about that in another video, and when I put the real move, rook d1 in, it makes it a sub-variation. See, it's not in bold like this one here. If you want to change rook d1 back to your main move, just click on it, right-click on it, and then go to move up. What that means is you're moving it up in importance, sort of. So you click on that, move up, and then you go back to that other move, right-click, and go delete. And then this is your answer. So rook d1, rook a7, knight c6. Then for that to be the answer to your homework, you go game, save, for example. Then to get back to your other homework, for example, to do your other questions, you go database, games. See, and that'll take you straight back to where we were before, except you'll see that number 1 in the database, your first homework question, has the answer now here. See, we can say, okay, I did my answer, I'm pretty happy with that, rook d1, okay, 7, knight c6 check, okay? But then we go number 2, that's another one you have not done yet, so let's have a look at it. Okay, how do I do that? Okay, it seems like there's a pin on this diagonal here. That means this rook knight is not protected, so I will take it. Rook takes a5, and pawn takes a5, and bishop takes a7. Then you will have your answer, and go database, you'll go game, save, and you have your that answer, and you go database, games. And then you have the first 2 answers done, etc. And you just go through them all, save them all, and then when you are finished, you come back to here, database. That's saving it on the fly, which is awesome. So basically what you can do then is come back to your desktop, and when you so you can send me an email then, and then you just send the my mouse isn't working, is it? Then you just send this file back to me, because it's been saved with all your answers. So you can send it back to me and there will be no problems, and I'll get your answers and mark them, and everyone will be happy. Okay, so that is how to use it to load your homework, for example. Another thing you can do is, probably a lot of my students play on chess.com, you can load all of your games that you've ever played on chess.com into this program too. It's very useful for that. I'll show you first how to get your games from chess.com. I'll go and do that now. Going in. Okay, now let's find chess.com. Chess. Okay, I'm going in. I should already be signed in. Yeah, here we are. Unfortunately, I won a tournament, not surprisingly. So we will go. This mouse is ridiculous. Just a second. Okay. That's is it a little bit better? Okay, so you go into let's say live chess, and then it will have your database here, but you can go to games archive, because this is sort of like this here is sort of like a preview, this area here. You go to View Games Archive, and that'll show all of your games. And then you can select individual games just by clicking to the side here, and then click Download PGN. Or you can do what I do sometimes, and that is go down the bottom and click on Download all of my games in one PGN. That is, by the way, PGN stands for Portable Games Notation. It's a way of moving all your files, all your games that you've played, and being able to open them in any text editor, WordPad, Microsoft Word, or great software like this program we're using right here. Okay, so PGN is sort of like a language that games can be passed on with. Anyway, so let's just say I have clicked on Download PGN. Oh, sorry, download all my games in PGN. What will happen is it will be sent to my, by chess.com, sent to my email inbox. Depending on the size of how many games you've played, it will depend on how long it will take for you to receive it. But eventually you'll receive it, and like I have down here, you'll receive a PGN that says chess.com games, and it will have some codage and the date that you got the file. And then what will happen is you can come straight into here, go to database, open, and find all the games you ever played on chess.com right here. You click on it and open, and here we have all the games I played on chess.com. Okay, so there's actually that's not all the games I played, that's a different database I downloaded, but it's still not a bad example. And so we can have a look and say, oh, okay, here's some games that I played on chess.com, and go through them. Very interesting, right? Okay, and then I can just double click and have a look at one of these games. Why did I play against someone that's 40 and 60? I don't know. And see, it's very easy. You can go through your games, you can print them out. I'll show you how to do that in another video, but it's very easy to do. The functions of this program are so much more simple than a lot of database software. Okay, we'll have a look at this game just as an example, because it's a nice game too. And okay, since I was black in this game, you'll see here, we will turn the board and have a quick look at it just for the end of the video. So I've loaded one of my games from chess.com. You can see over here it's got the players. Fetus was his name, Brendan was mine. It was played in live chess on chess.com okay, a couple of weeks ago, and it was an exchange French defense, blah blah blah, e4, e6, d4, d5, and some stuff happened. And we brought our pieces out. Okay, this g4 move's not good, blah blah blah. If you want to actually see chess tutorials, I'll have those coming sometime in the future too, but this is just showing you the functions of this. And he resigned because if pawn takes rook, queen g3 check is mating. But that was really cool. But by the way, you might not know what I'm talking about here. If he takes here, I come in here, and he's getting mated. Okay, so like I said, this is really cool software. It's the best freeware in the chess scene that I've seen, and I've seen a lot. I've been in the chess world a long time, and this is fantastic. So this video has already gone on too long, so I'll just say that's I think I've covered everything. I've covered a few more appearance options in this software, and I showed you how to open a database, how to do some of those random things, and now it's time to go. The next video will be on how to search within your database for specific information. Okay, but until then, thanks for watching. 我每天都在祈祷，快赶走爱的季节。